Hi guys, and welcome to this weekly horoscope for Monday the 15th of August going through until Sunday the 21st of August 2022. Thanks for joining me. It's a pleasure to be with you today. I'm going to go through each day this week to see what relationships the planets form with one another, what environment that creates astrologically, and how you can tap into that energy and make the most of it. So the point of these horoscopes is to try and understand what the planets are doing so that you can see where the opportunities are and kind of get them, and where the potential pitfalls are and to sidestep those or to avoid them altogether. Now, I've had a look at this week and it looks absolutely amazing to me, and I do these weekly horoscopes every week, right? So I'm certainly not saying that every week is like amazing and full of delightful events and gifts from the universe. But this week really is exceptionally positive in the sense that I can almost see someone having a personal breakthrough. It's someone walking in the sunshine, feeling confident, taking their power back, knowing exactly what they want to do with their life and just having a fabulous time of it. And that's really the image, the visual I get for this week. So let's have a look at each day then. Monday the 15th of August, we have the moon in Aries, and that forms a conjunction with Jupiter and Chiron in Aries. So we've got three things in the first sign of the zodiac, Aries, which is the ram, a fire sign. It has to do with your life purpose, passion. So you can see that immediately on Monday, you tap into all of those things. What am I moving towards? What motivates me? What's important to me? What will bring me good luck in future? So those work together, and then the Aries moon also quincunxes Mercury in Virgo. Mercury is the communication planet. In Virgo, it's in a sign that it rules, so it's very happy in Virgo. Mercury in Virgo, the switch is on the inward position. It takes in as much information as it possibly can, analyzes it, uses that critical thinking to make sense of things, and Mercury in Virgo is like a meaning-making machine. It likes to study everything and then come up with its own personal take on things. So that's a super positive influence that appears quite a few times this week, that it really allows you to make sense of things in a way that's accurate and helpful and useful. It's the opposite of getting the wrong end of the stick. Mercury in Virgo is the opposite of Mercury in retrograde, where communication becomes difficult and stifled and there are miscommunications. This placement means that you absolutely get it right first time. Your perspective is something that you can trust. Plans that you make are likely to work out. It's really a very positive placement. And together with all this Aries stuff, I want to move forward. I want to progress. I want to live my life purpose. Mercury in Virgo allows you to understand the action steps that you need to take to make all of that happen. So on Monday the 15th, you're focused on having a good time, on a travel, adventure, socializing, and being in holiday mode, basically. You're not overly interested in work or being productive, even though your critical senses, they are heightened, and it's the perfect day to edit and to double check work done in the past. So that's the Mercury in Virgo laser beam kind of focus on what it is you're working on. But all the fire, it kind of says, okay, what do you want to do in future? So make these serious plans. But it's not like sitting down in your office or in your room and then saying, okay, what am I going to do in future? Monday is saying that it's going to be far more enlightening if you go out and do stuff, if you do socialize or travel and talk to people. That gets things moving. And within that momentum, that's when other ideas about your life purpose, they appear within you already doing something. So the pace and the momentum is kind of important here this week, because it has a real rhythm to it. And if you align yourself with that rhythm and go with it, you'll be kind of like a message in a bottle. It'll kind of bob along until it gets to where it wants to go. Tuesday, the 16th of August, the Aries moon trines the sun in Leo, so lots and lots of fire here. It squares Pluto in Capricorn, planet of transformation and change in an earth sign. So I'm passionate about making changes in my life. Sextile Saturn in Aquarius, that's the rules. Those are the rules. That is society. Saturn is structure and security. Aquarius is the humanitarian, the greater wisdom of humanity, society, the rules, what goes, what doesn't go. And it quincunxes Mercury in Virgo again. Mercury in Virgo then trines Uranus in Taurus. So it's interesting because you understand the rules that you have to kind of deal with on one hand. On the other hand, you also realize that at times you need to deal with total chaos and things that you couldn't plan for. And that you have this position of trying to make sense of everything in order to manage your life as best you can. And that you recognize that that's not always easy. And you kind of give yourself some time off, or at least a pat on the shoulder saying, do you know what? You do a good job. So Tuesday the 16th, it's all about enjoying the good astrological weather here. If you look at this, we've got all this fire, and astrology is based on the seasons, right? And it's based on the northern hemisphere. And we're at the height of summer. We've got loads of fire in this chart, loads of planets in fire signs. And fire in astrology is all about, the easy life. The life that isn't examined. It's when you're out in the summertime, running around, having fun, enjoying yourself, doing work that you love and adore. It's not like winter where you're sitting around and the supplies are few and scarce and you have to talk to each other and try and pass the time and contemplate. This is about action. It's about doing. It's about enjoying yourself and being out in the world. Right. So on Tuesday, spending time with others again, that can lead to a new kind of opportunity. But particularly on Tuesday, there's major potential for a new romantic relationship or a new work opportunity. So if something is offered to you, or if you meet someone and you have some sort of response, emotional response, then look at the first reaction you have. So if someone says, you know what, I want you to come and work with me, these are the terms, what do you think? And immediately you're like, ding, ding, ding. Or the first reaction is, I'm hesitating, or maybe not. Or if you meet someone and you're like, this person seems really familiar, there's something here. Go with the first reaction you have. That gut feeling is not going to lead you astray. And it's a signal on Tuesday that there's something important here for you, that it would be a good idea to pay attention to it. On Wednesday, the 17th of August, the moon goes into Taurus at 4:22 in the morning. So now we're going from Aries, fire, into Earth, and it feels a bit more comfortable and the pace is easier. It's not so demanding. The Taurus moon then squares Venus in Leo. That's very sensual. The Taurus moon is interested in beauty and comfort and the physical body, and Venus in Leo is interested in passion and connection. And the two creating friction between themselves is like tension. So there's something in the air here that almost feels like it's crackling a little bit. There's like energy in the air, and it's like everyone is kind of responding to that and they're awake or in the moment. The sun in Leo quincunxes Neptune in Pisces. So there's a connection between your dreams and what could be and the way you see yourself. So it's almost like you can see yourself thriving even more or playing the tape forward as to the person you want to be. So with the change of the moon going from Aries into Taurus on Wednesday, first thing is that you become a bit more comfortable and less frantic, less kind of driven to make something happen. You're also less opinionated and less interested in being right. Instead, you want to spend time recharging your batteries and fulfilling a personal dream. And because of the Taurus moon and Venus in Leo connection, I think it's some sort of dream that you can almost visualize. Like for me, weirdly, always the image I get, if it's about, realizing hopes and dreams, and it's this very attainable dream of someone lounging by the pool, drinking like a pina colada or something in the sunshine, and it's all like holiday. And I mean, that's easy to do. You get a job, you make some money, you book a flight, you book a resort, and you stay there for a few days. It's doable, right? So it's that kind of ideal that you can realize, but it's something, again, I feel that you can achieve in a physical way. Like that's doable. Like something is involved. Like your physical presence is involved, a place, a thing, like, the hotel, pina colada. It's something in the material world gives you a real sense of joy and pleasure. That's what I mean. Or you receive a gift that has some sort of tangible format to it that brings you joy and pleasure. Wednesday is also a great day to shine in the spotlight if you're working, if you're doing some sort of a performance, or if you're presenting yourself at job interviews. Anything where you need to be in the spotlight and present yourself well, that works very effectively in your favor on Wednesday. So if you can schedule those things in, do it for Wednesday. You'll really have an easy time in the spotlight. On Thursday, the 18th of August, we've got the Taurus moon forming a conjunction with Uranus in Taurus. So the moon in Taurus likes comfort and stability and no change. No change, thank you. And Uranus is lightning hitting the tower in the tarot. It's something unexpected, it's miraculous, it's change. And in Taurus, it means your world is going to change somehow. So something's going to change, and then you have to kind of creak your way into dealing with the change, because Taurus doesn't want to deal with change ever. It then squares Saturn in Aquarius and the Sun in Leo. So some change that you may blame other people for, or that comes via other people, and that puts your own identity, it squeezes it. It's like, oh, I have to deal with this now, rather than focusing on myself and thriving and just going and doing. The Taurus moon then trines Pluto in Capricorn, Mercury in Virgo, and it sextiles Neptune in Pisces. So the good news is that anything that does occur, you're able to face the change, to make sense of it, and to resolve it, basically. Mercury in Virgo quincunxes Saturn in Aquarius. So you come out laughing, basically, because some sort of issue is thrown your way, some sort of unexpected circumstance that is less than ideal. But the amazing thing is you handle it like that. So on Thursday, society is going to throw you a curveball by some sort of institution you have in your life, like someone you have contact with who belongs to a bigger group, a community, right? So it may be a big change that's thrown your way, like for example, your hours at work, or it could be a little change that you have to deal with, like, I don't know, just overhearing someone being unkind about you on the phone, which is pretty trivial. So the reality change may seem unnegotiable, like this is something you're just facing and you can't do anything about it. Like, someone has a certain opinion of you and that's just a done deal. But if you can find a way of seeing how you can use this curveball and actually make it negotiable and work with it, you'll find a way to work it in your favor. You'll get the most out of it. So example, if the boss calls and does make a change to your hours, you can say, yeah, you know what? I will do more hours, but I'll need Saturdays off. Like you take control of the situation and you roll with it, but you also try and get the most out of it for yourself. It's the two meeting that really works on Thursday. It's a good day for negotiations. On Friday, the 19th of August, we've got the Taurus moon conjuncting Mars in Taurus. So this is a really, you're really in your body. You're very stubborn. You're very focused on getting what you want. You're like this, you're like this heavy hitting, ego, self-will. I get what I want. I'm, like this alpha kind of, I don't know, how am I trying to say it? Like this, there's almost a certain, is it machismo? I don't know how to say that. It's a bit of a masculine bravado. I keep doing the shoulder thing. So it's someone adopting some sort of behavior to appear more tough or intimidating or authoritative. What's interesting to me is the message I'm getting from that is on Friday the 19th of August, via all of this, you have peeled back a natural strength of yours and you're able to drop some sort of artificial behavior. Okay, it trines Pluto in Capricorn and squares the Sun in Leo. Okay, so the self is really in the spotlight here. The self is what's being nurtured and all the fakery is falling away. The moon enters Gemini, it's 6 minutes past 2 in the afternoon, and the Sun in Leo then quincunxes Pluto in Capricorn. So making changes in your working life or in your practical circumstances, that feels more doable. You're not as focused on maintaining things. The moon in Gemini also sextiles Jupiter in Aquarius, not in Aquarius, in Aries, excuse me. So the moon in Gemini on Friday the 19th sextiles Jupiter in Aries. So that's very different to Taurus, which is about the body and the status quo and maintaining things. The moon in Gemini is about, okay, what's the next adventure? What's the next solution? And Jupiter in Aries says good luck comes from you moving ahead and making progress. So Friday, with all of this together, I think it's an amazing day for new romantic relationships and love. I really do. It looks so positive in terms of bringing people together. The connection of the moon and Jupiter, it means that you can meet your equal, your soulmate. So make sure you connect with people and you get out and about. It's a magical day as well of inspiration for artists, writers, and intuitives. It's like something bigger kind of lands in your life on Friday. Saturday, the 20th of August, we've got Mars going into Gemini at 9:56 in the morning. So Mars is the soldier, right? It's drive, it's desire, it's what I want. And in Gemini, it's a writer. It's someone who's fearless, someone who goes on TV and makes risque jokes because they feel they have to, and faces a bunch of criticism, but is willing to endure that because they feel so strongly about this purpose of theirs. So Mars going into Gemini in the morning here on Saturday. If you find it impossible to understand what is important to you, what you should be doing with your life, it'll become much clearer on Saturday. The moon is also in Gemini, so the moon, your feelings, and Mars, the soldier, they're kind of talking to each other. So it's interesting that the day before I got this like macho thing. On Saturday, we've still got all this masculine energy, but it's almost like the natural, like when they say, oh, this person needs to find their feminine side to become a bit more balanced or whatever. This is like finding your masculine side, finding that side of yourself that is associated with all these things via astrology and the tarot and anything that has to do with symbols, right? The masculine is associated with your authority, your action, where you're not going to compromise, where you're willing to fight and assert your strength. It's all of those things. So Saturday allows you to reveal your inner masculine nature and really what you're not going to compromise on and what you truly want. With the Gemini moon talking to Mars, it becomes very clear. And that also sextiles Venus in Leo and Chiron in Aries. So it's not just who you are and what you want that you're passionate about. You're also very passionate about other people and connecting on a interpersonal level. To me, this is really amazing. I put down here, and you may think this is a bit like corny, whatever. But I actually wrote, wow, this day is a day that sparkles like a crystal on a beach. Your perspective and ability to express yourself is absolutely inspired, sparkly. You say the right thing at the right time, all the time. You come across really, really well, and you put your most dignified and elegant foot forward. It's an amazing day to make an impression on someone just by showing up and being yourself. So schedule important meetings on this day if you can, and do things like meet the parents because you come across so wonderfully. So that also opens the door for new relationships. Obviously, if you're sparkling in the sunlight and then someone just catches a glimpse of you and they're like, oh my God, who's that? I've got to meet them. They're so amazing. They kind of trot over to you and start speaking to you. So relationships, anything where you have connection and interaction with other people is going to work well for you, okay? Sunday, the 21st of August, we've got the moon in Gemini forming a trine with Saturn in Aquarius. So you get on with most people and you get most people. Squares Mercury in Virgo, simply because you have a meaning-making process built into you. And Neptune in Pisces, so you're also connected to your higher self and your dreams. It sextiles the Sun in Leo, so your identity is still first and foremost. And quincunxes Pluto in Capricorn. Change isn't that scary, it's manageable. Mercury in Virgo opposes Neptune in Pisces, so it's what makes sense via my feelings and my experience and the world, and what doesn't. So you're really like, on Sunday, you really just get it on all levels. I think on Sunday, the 21st of August, it's a very specific energy here. I think you feel some sort of affinity with a teacher, a mentor, a writer, someone you discover. And it makes you feel part of something bigger. Like it clicks, they get it, you get it, and it just works, right? The reality is that you're going to be, rather than being a student to this person, you're going to be an equal, and you can teach each other. So if you challenge someone important in your life about a point they've made, and you actually say, well, have you thought about this and this and this? And if the response is to listen and to consider what you're saying, then hooray, that's great. That's something where both of you can really learn, and that relationship can really develop into something bigger, right? If the response is to dismiss you and to put you in your place and to say, hey, you're the student, I'm the boss here, and to dismiss your ideas, then that's something where that's like a faulty mentorship relationship, because it's about someone trying to affirm that they're right and having you on board, rather than being a genuine teacher-student relationship where both people get something out of it. So it's a weird theme on topic, but on Sunday, look at the kind of people you have in your life who you actually rely on and see if that still benefits you. And also, you know that saying, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. So if you do realize someone actually just has you on board to make them look good or whatever, and it started out well, but it's no longer there, then that then takes the power out of that relationship, and it's likely that someone more appropriate does appear. So a lot is happening this week, and it's pretty much all good. It's a really fabulous week. I hope you have a wonderful time. If you'd like a personal reading with me, please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. On the front page, click on Book Your Reading to audio reading with me. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Please hit subscribe and share the video online. Have an amazing week, and I'll speak to you next week. All the best.